All right, so this is a full season 8, episode 3 rant about why the episode was extremely disappointing. And I know this video is long, just treat it as a podcast, really, I guess is all I can say. If you want the shortened version just about the Night King, click the link in the description, you can see that. I hope you guys enjoy it, and here you go.
So there were so many people that should have died. Brienne was literally buried under so many whites. Same with Jamie. Sam should have
Let me
definitely
just
died.
say, let me just say,
Oh, that's another
Jamie
thing.
and
Hmm.
Brienne, Grey Worm, um, Podrick, I believe,
Yeah, yeah, Podrick.
the Hound, Sam, pretty
Oh,
much all of those main characters that aren't Jon, Daenerys, and the ones that weren't hiding in the crypt,
hmm,
they were in the front line. Okay, so you're telling me they sent all these Dothraki
yeah, yeah, yeah.
marching forward, which obviously that's so stupid to do in the first place. Why would you send
Mhm.
all whatever? But they did, and they literally, I think that what was that like 30,000 strong. I might be really off with that, but I'm pretty sure it was 30,000.
No, I would even argue more. I've heard 40,000,
Yeah,
but
something like that. Something ridiculous. Literally
mhm.
swallowed within 10 seconds. But you're telling me, as soon as they march forward, the whites march forward, which
Yeah,
literally there's so many that they're trampling over each other.
it's the whites were literally like the zombies from World War Z. They
Yeah,
were a
climbing
wave. It
those
was
walls. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a wave. Like it wasn't even human. Like it wasn't individual zombies anymore. It was just a phenomena, right? Like if you were standing in their way, they would cover you in an instant. There's nothing you can do to prevent it, right? There's no fighting it off.
So you're telling me that all those Dothraki died immediately, but the people in the front line didn't even die? Brienne, Jamie, Grey Worm, you could look back at the episode. They were literally in the
Oh,
front line.
and I mean, okay, let's give them a pass, right? Let's say somehow they have super fucking, they have amazing battle skills, and somehow, they were
But it's
dodging.
literally they should be swallowed. They
Wait, wait,
shouldn't even
wait.
be able to fight because of the
So,
Dothraki. But
so let's say they were
yeah, yeah,
dodging
go.
and weaving. There's a scene where Grey Worm, he makes peace. Like I feel like they put a little scene there where he kind of takes courage up to do something,
Hmm.
and that's to guide the pieces, the Red Lady, to light the trench.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have died there because that was such
If
a
he shouldn't
scene.
have already died
Yeah,
the
yeah, in the
front line.
beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
But there, like, there was a resolve. Like, it's like you can see it, or I don't know, the director kind of showed it, where he kind of resolved with his life. He's like, okay,
And what do you know, Victor? He didn't die.
no, he
That's how
didn't.
you know George R.
No,
Martin
not
didn't
only
write this.
that, not
Yeah.
only that, the Red Lady survived, only to take her bracelet off at the end of the battle and die somewhere else. She suicided. Like, are you kidding me? So this character, again, she did something good and noble. You're telling me that you're not gonna kill her off there doing something good and noble. You're gonna make her suicide off screen. Well, not off screen, but
At the end
you're
of the
gonna
episode, yeah.
yeah, you're gonna make her kill herself in the middle of like nowhere because she walks out of Winterfell and she fucking goes outside and walks and turns old. Are you kidding me? Like that's when she should have been overwhelmed when she lit the trench, when she lit the
Yeah,
barricade.
how did they not get her when it's so ridiculous. Let's talk about first of all, just like I said before, that's how you know George R. R. Martin didn't write this
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
he
absolutely.
always makes his characters die, main characters die, which is a good thing because it makes it unpredictable. Okay, when you do shit like they just did,
Hmm.
now honestly, I'm not even interested to watch the next
And
episode.
you know
Like,
what, too? Speaking of George R. R. Martin, George R. R. Martin said that he hates when someone writes a villain for the intent of just being purely evil. And remember what you were talking to me about, like the whole Night King's deal was to kill mankind?
mhm.
Well, George R. R. Martin doesn't write like that. He said so himself. He said that it would be stupid to have a character its only intent is just to be evil. And I really do feel like George R. R. Martin had something else with the Night King, but of course HBO took hold of whatever it was,
Well,
and when
specifically, yeah, the writers.
Yeah.
Because
The right.
the director really he tried his best to save it.
No, no,
He's probably flipping through the script like, oh,
no.
come on, man, you don't make me direct. You're like, no,
Dude.
you're doing it.
But you know what, man? I always have faith for that director because I remember the first battle that I fell in love with was the battle with the wildlings at the wall. Like that battle was so good. Um,
Dude, the director, I mean, maybe that was a different director than directed this episode. I'm not too sure, actually. It might actually have been someone else.
wait, was that were they fighting the White Walkers? Maybe I'm I'm twisting my battles here. But yeah, I mean every single battle is amazing.
Yeah.
That's been fought so far. You know?
So,
So props to that.
like, so back to the Nobody Died, okay? Which
Hmm.
George R. R. Martin is known for doing the opposite. So, let's
Yep.
just quickly go through the characters. Let's start off with John. I thought John was dead when I seen this because John was like one of the first people that, should have been. You're like, damn, he's definitely dead, but somehow survived.
When he was in the middle of all those
Yeah,
corpses that were
I'm
rising.
talking about besides the people that were on the front line that we just mentioned. Yeah, so what happened was he was chasing the Night King, okay?
Hmm.
The Night King turns around, he raises everybody from the dead, and then he's literally surrounded by whites, surrounded like
Yep.
360 view, surrounded by a ton of whites. With all the dead laying on the battlefield, obviously a lot are gonna get up if all the dead are getting up. So
Yeah.
and then the Night King just walks away, okay? And then it cuts right there. And then when we get back to it, we see John cutting them down as if it's only two or three of them, okay? How do you go from him being surrounded? As soon as that happened, as soon as that cut, I was like, wow, John's dead.
Yep.
Because I
Yep.
still thought that this was George's episode, but I didn't know that it was these new writers that don't know how to,
Well,
write.
they're
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 good, in
not
my opinion.
they're not new writers, but
Well, yeah, they're not new writers, but what I'm saying is,
they've
it
been
seems like with the other seasons,
yeah.
they had something to base it off of more so, right? Like,
Hmm.
but with this, I could be completely wrong. Maybe George wanted it to be like this, but I don't think so. But it seems like the other seasons, the other episodes, they had something to base it off of. They already knew the books. The books were out. They were like, okay, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna follow your path, George, but we're gonna change it up a little bit. Because
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are differences between the show and the books that are good. Even though I don't know much about the books, but I have watched some videos about it. I've never read them myself.
Hmm.
But so yeah, it seems like George didn't give them anything for this episode or maybe this season, and
No,
they just
no, yeah.
wrote it completely themselves. A group of writers or however they do it. I have no idea how they do it over there, but yeah, like John, how does he cut down two to three whites when there's literally whites surrounded everywhere? And
I
especially, he rose all of them from the dead. So how could there only be two or three anyway?
You know
You know?
what? Honestly, for that, I thought that his dragon, Rhaegal, was gonna come, and he was gonna be surrounded by the White Walkers, or the Whites, I mean, and Rhaegal was gonna just fire, right? Just
That
fire
actually
at
would have
him,
been really good.
and that would
That would
have
have
been
been,
like,
and he's not supposed to die from the fire because he's a
yeah, he's a
Targaryen,
Targaryen, yeah,
and Daenerys didn't die from
that would have
fire.
been epic. I don't know how hot Dragonfire is. I don't know if he can survive that, but if he could, that would have been so epic. Because he there was definitely a for sure I would have died if I wasn't Jon Snow type thing. Um, but he didn't. He held him off. Daenerys came and helped him out.
That's the first thing when I was watching the episode that really pissed me off. I know you said the first thing that pissed you off was the Dothraki rushing.
Dothraki,
That
yeah.
was stupid. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that didn't. That was like I was like, okay, whatever, okay.
Hmm.
So, but as soon as I watched that, that's the first thing that I'm like, how do we go from him being 360, surrounded,
Yeah, to him
360
holding.
degrees, to him cutting down two or three, and then surviving?
And you know what it was too? Not only was it, whites that were already there from before, it was also added troops. So
Yeah,
it was
it was the whites that were added before, and then he rose all of the dead. Not only his dead whites, but John's soldiers as well.
yeah,
Like
yeah. That was
everybody that was on the living side. He rose all of them. You literally go from him being surrounded to him chopping down 2 or 3.
Yep.
And that's not only with Jon, okay?
That
That's
happened
with
with every single.
Daenerys and Jorah. Okay, let's talk about them for a minute.
Oh.
Daenerys and Jorah.
Yep.
So we get to that scene. Jorah comes out of nowhere and saves Daenerys after the dragon kicks her off because there's whites all over it. I believe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There were like ants on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then she's safe, with no whites in sight, and then Jorah comes and so then the few whites that come in one by one.
They come in one by one.
That doesn't make any sense.
No,
okay?
it doesn't.
How does he raise all of these dead troops, those 30, 40,000 Dothraki that didn't ride that far away, have been raised from the dead? But what do? They just walk around? Like, no.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how far his field of effect is, but it rose the dead in the crypts, and he wasn't in Winterfell yet. So that means that his area of effect is huge, right? Because the crypt is deep inside Winterfell, and those dead rose up. So that means that every single troop, every single thing that woke up, or every single thing that died there should have woken up, and that's true.
Even if like. He was right next to Jon, and he just raised all of them that were on the ground right there. So even if his AoE was, let's just say, 100 yards, which it was obviously way more, it still would have been enough to kill Jon.
It was because there were so many bodies there. Again, there were...
Exactly, and he can kill maybe 1, maybe 2, but in this scene that they showed before they showed him cutting down, like in the little cut when they showed them getting up, there was tons of them. But then as soon as the next time we get to them, most of them disappeared.
That's the thing. Jon has never been shown to be a one-man army, right? Like even in the Battle of the Bastards, he almost died if it wasn't for Sansa. So it's incredible how Jon could have survived that when again they've never shown him to be overpowered. And I kind of want to. I wanted to see a little bit of that. I wanted to see Jon be a little bit overpowered at least with the night.
He was for a second, and then they cut, and then they went back, and then where'd they all go? They just disappeared out of thin air. I guess.
Dude, they just walked out. They're like, And I don't want to deal with this bullshit.
So yeah, and then you have the same thing with Daenerys and Jorah, just them going one by one at him. Jorah dies. Let's be honest, who really cares about Jorah? Right?
Yeah, I mean, Jorah served his purpose. I mean, like a lot of characters did, right? Like Brienne should have died. She already kind of served her purpose. Who else? Like again, Grey Worm.
Jamie came back to do the honorable thing. I mean, he.
Yeah. I mean, even with Jamie and Tyrion, I would almost suggest maybe not yet, since Bronn was sent to kill them.
Well, in terms of his service being paid. His duty being paid.
Yeah.
Like Jamie fulfilled his, he did the honorable thing.
He did do the honorable thing. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't expect him to die yet, again, because we have this story with Bronn. Who is he going to choose? Is he going to choose Jamie, or is he going to do what Cersei tells him? Which I don't believe that he's going to do what Cersei tells him. Yeah. But there's still that there. So I guess Jamie and Tyrion still haven't finished their stories. But again, there's a lot. Like Grey Worm, he had this moment where he should have died.
Not only did he have the frontline moment, but then he had that moment where literally you're like, okay, he's dead.
Yep.
But then why? Why save him? I mean, there's really no reason for it, honestly.
The only reason that I can think of right now is that they're going to betray Daenerys. But I don't see that happening. I feel like they're gonna fight the battles that they're gonna fight, and then they're gonna do what they said they were gonna do, which is go to Essos, or to go to the beach. I don't know where they said they were gonna go to the beach to. But I don't know. They should have died. I don't see why he wouldn't.
You could fill a whole big page with people that should have died.
And
also. Not even just that, what I just said with Jon, but right before the Night King died, why did Jon just stand up and then, like, throw his arms up and scream at the dragon about to blow fire at him? Did you remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Jon was
literally just stood up. He's like, Ugh!
John was feeling a bit suicidal, and I again, it's very out of character for him, and I don't understand why he did that. Oh, another thing that's out of character, Sam. I so my belief, right? Like we haven't seen much of Sam, but we go back from the beginning, and Sam was very very shy, right? He was a laughing stock. He couldn't do shit. For lack of a better term. Um, John kind of was there for him, and he kind of manned up a little bit. And I feel like when he really reached his peak was when he was beyond the wall, and he saved Giddy and her son, right, which he adopted, little Sam.
Hmm.
Why is he a coward? Because he started off as a coward, right? And then I feel like his arc took him somewhere. Like he went through a lot of stuff that should have, it hardened him. Like
He killed a White Walker.
he killed a walker. I just don't
And he
understand why
killed
he
that,
was.
I think they're called a thorn, something like that. Like those weird people. That
Oh,
there was a,
yeah. I know what you're
they were
talking
the
about. Yeah.
wildlings.
Oh, I don't.
A then, I think.
Oh, I don't remember him. I don't remember that. But if he did, again, that just proves why is
Yeah,
he
he
such.
basically, he killed a lot of powerful things.
Yeah, and then he cowered in Winterfell and got his friend killed. I don't remember his name, but the guy in the
Yeah, that
Night's
he
Watch.
got the sword stabbed through his head
Yeah, like
on him trying to help Sam up, and then Sam just scurries away. How does he not die? Like,
yeah. So the next time we see Sam, it's when John is running towards trying to get to the Night King, and Sam again is cornered. Like Sam is struggling with a white. Um, and John is like, shit, man. Like it's kind of out of character, but I guess you could say like he didn't have time for that. He was gonna go face the Night King, but that was so again. What in the world is Sam? Like, what was that character development? Like, is he forever a coward? Did all that stuff that we watched, with him not count? Like,
mhm.
he manned up at some point. I just don't understand why he went back to what he was. I didn't understand that
And it's like a
character development.
letdown for
It was
everybody
a
who likes Sam. They're like, no, he's a man.
I
He's inspirational, but now he's hiding.
I for one really like Sam. I liked his from zero to now he has a wife kind of thing. I really like that.
Yeah.
And the reason why he had a wife was because again he manned up, and that's what he they were making fun of him in the first. It was a very I don't know. If it would have been like that, that would have been a nice arc for him. But they took that away. They're like, nope, you're a coward again, Sam. So go coward away. You
So
know?
we have that. We have Tyrion and Sansa down there in the crypts.
Tip.
And when
Oh,
the dead were raised from the crypt, which I actually thought that was pretty cool. How the dead Starks came from the
yeah.
that was pretty cool.
So that
And
was cool, but it was so stupid how they. Okay, that's another moment where it's like maybe it's just because it's unexpected, but there was this moment where I thought that Tyrion was gonna sacrifice himself, right?
I seen it look Sansa brought out that little blade and it looked like she was gonna kill herself.
You
Right?
oh I didn't think about that.
I
I
thought
You
that.
thought that?
Yeah.
I saw her bring out the little blade. I thought maybe she was like ready to stab. The moment where I kind of the hair of the back of my back kind of stood up was when Tyrion took out his blade and then he like swung to the side. Like he kind of looks at Sansa and then he stood up and he went to the side. I thought he was definitely going to sacrifice himself there and he was going to get killed. But nope, he goes into the next little cubby where there's, guess what, like 7 people hiding. And you're telling me that these whites, they can hear, a little splatter of blood in the ground and be super attentive to it. They're not going to notice a shit
And
ton of
why are
people.
none of the whites from upstairs going downstairs?
And,
Like,
I think they tried. I think the door was locked. I think they locked the door because at some point you can hear people like let me in,
oh
and then they
really?
all fucking die. Yeah. So I think that's why. But I didn't see. That's a good question though. If no whites can get in, then no whites can get out. That means that people in the crypt had to kill the whites that were already there. How the fuck did they survive? If they
Because it's
right,
bad writing.
because I don't recall seeing any guards in the crypts with them since they were all cowering, down there.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how they got out of the crypt. Since the door was closed, the whites that were in there should have stayed in there. Um, and there's other instances like that too, where again you don't know where exactly something like the Arya thing. They never showed how she materialized out of there. Um,
I I think honestly the reason why is because they don't have an answer.
they
Like
don't.
they just
I mean,
wanted her to fly out of nowhere and just make you come up with a theory because that's literally at the level of stupidity that we're at right now, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like
mean,
her literally flying out of nowhere like Superman, you know?
but sadly, there is no theory that makes sense because she didn't come from the tree, from the weirwood tree, which is the closest thing that she could have, jumped off of.
Hmm.
And they were surrounded by walkers, and then they're in the courtyard, right? There's not a big ass tower somewhere. Um, and lo and behold, she materializes. She does her little boom boom little trick, and the Night King dies. Um, which is the most anticlimactic thing that I've ever seen
This
in
is
my
the
life.
first time that we actually seen him, a lot of shots of him. Even before even in season 7, okay, we seen a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
when they were at the ice lake, the ice pond, whatever.
yeah, yeah. When they,
We saw him up there on his little horse. We saw him throw the spear at Daenerys' dragon and kill it. But still, we didn't really see much. Like this episode is when we got a lot of close-ups. We got a lot of cool shots of him.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what did he do this episode? We didn't get to see him do anything. Like
I mean,
nothing to satisfy the viewers. Like I'm sure, you know, the next episode is not going to have anywhere near as many people watching it like immediately.
no.
Like because nobody's really hyped up to watch it anymore.
And here's the thing, right? Because I feel like this is Arya's show now, okay? Because she has Cersei on her list, and if she kills Cersei, that's it, dude. Like that, it's might as well call her, Game of Aryas or Arya for the throne, Arya, in 2020, because it's insane. She's killed so many people. She killed the Frey, right? The Frey. She killed the Frey, but he killed Robb Stark, and he killed Catherine Stark, which again I feel like that makes him an important character. That makes it a very revengeful arc. Um, I feel like Arya has so much on her plate. There's so much that she's already done. I just don't understand why they gave her the Night King. It doesn't make sense. It would have made more sense for her.
I guess what they tried to do is make it unexpected, but and making it unexpected like this, they just instead of making it, oh my god, wow, so they just piss people off. Like
Oh yeah.
when I started, like I said, John was the first thing to piss me off how he didn't die. Which
Mhm.
I love John. Like he's
I
probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite characters.
I mean
But when
yeah.
you put him in a scenario where he's basically dead, I want him to be dead.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because that's how I want it to be. I don't want my favorite show to start doing things
You know
where
what?
people look like they're about to die, and that that's why I didn't really like how he came back to life either. But
When he
that
died.
wasn't that big of a deal, I guess.
Another thing, the Night King should have fought John. I just can't get over that. They had this moment. They should have fought. John should have been close to losing, and then maybe Arya could have come from behind and done her little dagger trick, and I would have been okay with that. But
But
it,
even
it's
still, I mean, there would have been whites around. I don't know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, how did no main characters die? The Night King, and I honestly, as soon as I was seeing those cool director cuts of the Night King, they
Mhm.
made you completely think that the Night King was gonna win, and then Arya, oh, so unexpected, great, right? No, it's so stupid. They
Yeah,
like, I wanted the Night King to win. Now you just pissed me off. Like,
yeah. Again, it's insane how the Night King came out of the open for no reason at all. Like,
yeah, why did he do that
okay,
too?
like he wanted to kill Bran, but why exactly did he want to kill Bran?
I don't know. That's a whole big thing on itself because he's a three-eyed raven or whatever. But
Oh, and couldn't he get his generals, his White Walkers to kill him for him, or at least
even if he had his generals guarding him, like around him, but they somehow didn't
Yeah,
detect Arya
they missed it. Yeah,
because she flew from the sky, I guess. And
it's
also
yeah,
like
yeah.
we said before, like even if she did fly out of the sky, his reflexes, he caught her. What? Why didn't he, like?
Well,
Couldn't he have just like killed her within a couple seconds by crushing her throat?
not only
Is that
that,
how strong he is?
you have to understand that the Night King's touch is he's not a human. Like he literally touched Bran and left a mark on him, and that was just from a touch, right? Like
That's
if he
true, and he grabbed her neck.
yeah, if he's grabbing her neck should have been frozen stiff. Like her neck should she should have been dead if he wanted it to. I just don't understand
What would have
why.
been cool
Mhm.
is it still wouldn't have made sense how she jumped, but is if she turned right here as soon as he grabbed her by the neck, if she turned, then
Mhm.
it's like an unexpected thing to another unexpected thing. Like if she turned into a white as soon as he
Oh,
grabbed her,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
that it still wouldn't make sense how she
It
jumped that
it wouldn't
moment.
make sense, but I mean, at this point, what does make sense? Because this doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that how he turns people though? He touches them.
yeah, yeah, he touches them. That's how he.
So
I mean,
what?
at least that's how it happens with babies, right? He touches babies,
Yeah,
and
the dragon too. He touched it.
oh yeah, but the dragon was dead. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But the
but
babies,
still,
the babies were definitely alive,
yeah. The babies are alive when they get turned.
and they get turned. And again, his touch isn't. It's not a normal touch. Every time he touches something, like something happens. Another thing. Ooh, sly little. Ooh man, Bran. What happened with him?
Oh yeah, he just. I'm
He
going to
pieced
go now.
out.
Maybe we'll find out in like the next couple
Yeah,
episodes where
yeah.
he went, but
Maybe he did something. Maybe he like worked into Arya and did some amazing. Maybe he like flew her with her crows or something. He's like Arya, up on, you know.
that actually that actually kind of makes
That
sense in such a weird way.
it does, yeah. Like he had like seven. He had like four crows or something
What
like
the level
that.
of stupidity we're at. That is actually there you go. That's the theory. The
Arya T
crows
post.
and somehow still didn't get detected,
Yeah,
but
yeah. She T post. The crows. Grabbed the hold of her
and
arms.
doesn't the Night King because when Bran went into that vision when he got touched by the Night King, doesn't the Night King have the same powers or if not something similar to
I
Bran? Because Bran was in a vision, right? Or
yeah, yeah.
like
He was.
or I guess he was just somewhere else looking. I don't really
No, no.
know,
He
but
was in the vision. He was in
well,
the past.
whatever. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Whatever it was, the Night King saw him, and nobody
Yeah.
else could see him.
Mm-hmm.
So he must have some type of
No,
know
dude.
what's going on as well. So how did he again not know the art? I don't know.
They overpowered the Night King so much. Like I said, he had so many tricks up his sleeve, but they didn't show a single one of them. Like you said, he has so much power. He has so many powers, and I can't believe he didn't spend a single one of them. There wasn't one trick that he used, right? Like he did nothing. He just sat there and took it, which is so stupid. And dude, if they do that, if next episode we see crows lifting up Arya, I'm gonna die laughing. Like
Dude, I can tell you how it's gonna end right now. Okay, I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, but we're recording this before right after season three came out, episode three of season eight
yeah.
came out.
Hmm.
Episode four didn't come out yet.
Nope, not
I'm gonna
yet.
tell you, I know Cersei is gonna lose. I don't know who's gonna be alive. I feel like they're gonna kill Daenerys or Jon, maybe both of
Hmm.
them.
Okay, okay.
Even after this, I still feel like they're going to do that just because all the actors are like, oh, so unexpected and say whatever. But
Hmm.
I definitely know Cersei is gonna lose. I can
Yeah,
tell you that for a fact.